Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Karo আমি বড় দুঃখী, দয়া কর সীতাপতি, অদ্বৈত গোসাই, তব কৃপা বলে পায় চৈতন্য নিতাই। স্বরূপ সনাতন রূপ রঘুনা ভট্ট যোগ সে জীব প্রভু লোকনা, দয়া করো সিয়াচার্য প্রভু শ্রীনিবাস, রামচন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে নরোত্তম দাস, রামচন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে নরোত্তম দাস। শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু দয়া কর মোরে, শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু দয়া কর মোরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম রাম হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaura Pramanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Jai Sisi. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Paripurajikacharya Ashtatara Shatasi Sima Sila Abhayacharna Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Paripurajikacharya Ashtatara Shatasi Sima Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, श्रील भक्तिवेदांत ठाकुर महाराज की जय, श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, धाम की जय, आलोचनीय रमणीति धाम की जय, जूम भक्तवृंद की जय, इस्कॉन कीर्तन मिनिस्ट्री की जय, समेत वैष्णववृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sisi Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for giving me opportunity to serve, glorify the holy name. Holy name means, Harinam means the supreme absolute truth. And our access is when we give ourselves with full attention and the service attitude, and when our character is devotional, then holy name descend to the tongue and vibrate. But at the same time, our Acharya, including Srila Prabhupada, headed by Srila Prabhupada, glorify the holy name. It's always full of glories. It's not in word or alphabet. And Srila Prabhupada writes 7th canto, 1st chapter, in a purport. Very nice, that glorifying the supreme absolute truth, it's called chanting or sankirtan. Kirtan means, kirti means glorification. But if I do not know glorification, then I will not be able to chant purely. This morning, our temple president, Mother Mukhya, was announcing, it was a very nice small article Prabhupada wrote, or he spoke, put into transcription, that every day one has to follow this Vidhi Marg and Raga Marg both. Bhagavad Vidhi and Pancharatrik Vidhi has to be like a two-track. If you want to go, like a train runs on a two-track, we have to also run on a two-track. We have to hear and chant, hear and chant. If we don't hear only chanting, then what we are chanting? Because between our utterance and soul, me, I the soul servant, there is somebody in between. It's called subtle body. Has to be engaged. Otherwise, soul doesn't have access of chanting pure name. That's why it says when our existence, sattva, become purified, that time the faculty of the mind becomes one with our utterance. That's very nice. Means there is no different substance. Right now, like I have my mind, my intelligence, my physical body, and the soul. But in pure goodness connection, they all become one substance. So nice, so nice. That time, all our action is pleasing Krishna, because in order to have a pure goodness connection, there has to be development of great deal of devotional attitude. And Srila Prabhupada writes, the advancement in Krishna consciousness depend on the attitude of practitioner, So it's very important. With that note, I'll begin with the blessing of all the assembled Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur very nicely also explained in Harinam Chintamani that we should always meditate on the 6 opulences of Bhagavan. Now what will happen if I don't focus on that? I'll be uttering the name on my tongue, but my mind will be thinking what this boy is doing, what this Mataji is doing, what happened here, what happened in Facebook, what happened in my email, what in the news. You'll be hovering here, there. Our problem is not the physical. Physically, we all have a tilak and neck beads. Dress, attar also pure Vaishnava. When we become pure Vaishnava, when I become pure Vaishnava, I'll have the same dress. But then what is not pure is the subtle body. If the subtle body is purified, spiritualized, then done. Our sadhana is over. Siddha or the perfection is achieved. Means I will be 24 hours a day engaged in Krishna consciousness. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that these 6 opulences, especially the Bhagavan concept, Sarva Shaktiman concept, Mangalamaya concept, Saundarja concept, Ashesha Jnana concept, and Ishvara concept. These 6 has to be fully, thoroughly contemplated in the mind. Bhagavan concept that we all know, we discussed that one day. Sarva Shaktiman, we should always focus on Sarva Shaktiman. Every moment we are thinking of Krishna and chanting. That he is endowed with Shakti, inconceivable Shakti, including Maya Shakti, that nothing can harm me, nothing can do to me when I am connected with Harinam. Because all the Shakti has no Swatantra, no independence. They are controlled by Krishna. Whether it's a Yogamaya or Mahamaya, does not matter. All the Shakti. So what's the fear? Fear disappears. But the connection of the holy name so mercifully descend on our tongue so we can be connected in a service relationship, reciprocal. Mangalmai, also Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that we should always focus that Bhagavan is all auspicious, all famous. His pastimes are full of nectar. We should always meditate on that. And then the other aspect also Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the Saundarja, that any attraction that takes our heart is in Krishna. But there is a fine line we have to understand. Some attraction will not take us to Krishna. All attraction coming from Krishna, but all attraction will not take us to Krishna. So we have to have a discrimination power. It is coming from Krishna, but will it take us to Krishna? This attraction, whatever it is, like Jayanta Prabhu told Prabhupada, I like woman and flower. Prabhupada did not dismiss it. Prabhupada said, that's good. At least you have some attraction. If you can find the origin of that attraction, what is actually attracting, you will find Krishna there. And we can see today he is a very advanced soul. You know, he joined in France, Paris, and is very sincerely progressing in his spiritual path. He listened to Prabhupada. And so any attraction we have, if we can find whether that attraction will take us if our attitude in service mood to serve Krishna and Vaishnava. Then that attraction, whatever attraction, you will find the origin is Krishna. But if our attitude is for me, then it is not possible. So everything coming from Krishna doesn't mean everything will take us back to Krishna. It is our service attitude, our character focus on that research will take us to Krishna. Service attitude. So then another concept also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Ashesha Gyanam, that whatever ignorance we have that binding us ignorantly, Krishna is endowed with eternally full-fledged knowledge by his mercy. Of course, his mercy, when it appears, when our sincere desire to serve him. So sincere desire, then this knowledge will come and take us back to him. So this is very important. With that note, I'm going to give a little explanation on this wonderful verse that Lord Krishna explained. The Jeme matam idam nittam anutishtanti manava shraddhayannato anusriyanto mucchante api karmavi. Proper translation, those persons who execute their duties according to my injunction, who follows this teaching faithfully without envy, become free from the bondage of fruitive action. So what I take from this, I was meditating on this morning sloka, thinking of this class. Mucchante tepi karmavi, they will become liberated. So to chant pure name, we have to get out of the three modes. So this verse says, Mucchante api karmavi. It will make me liberated, Brahmabhuta stage. Then I can chant pure name. But what it will be liberating from? Three modes. What is three modes involved in my life? It's a karma idea. I want to enjoy separately from God. That is not coming from holy name. I have to develop that attitude. I do not want to enjoy separately from Krishna. All my enjoyment, yes, ultimately it is selfless sacrifice. But you have to begin at starting point has to be, okay, what is my separate interest is there? I cannot just say I have no separate interest. That will be illusion. Why am I here in this material world? So there has to be starting point to become selfless sacrifice. Gopi's mood is exalted, but Dhruva Maharaj's position is also exalted. Dhruva Maharaj became Mahabhagavat. Where did he begin? He wanted material enjoyment, bigger kingdom than. So it's nothing harm. Whatever enjoyment spirit we have, there's nothing harm. But approach is akama sarva kamava muksha kama udaradi. Tibrena bhakti jogena. Otherwise it will be artificial. If I say I don't have any desire for me, that will be some artificial. We have to be genuine. That power of bhakti, chanting Harinam, shelter of holy name, is so wonderful that it makes us purified from those desires. Dhruva Maharaj got purified from those desires. Whatever motivation we have, go with it, approach holy name. Because holy name is the ultimate origin form of Bhagavan's merciful connection to us. Not the deity, not the Swarup, it is the holy name. Holy name is the foundation of all form of bhakti. No bhakti can be executed ultimately in a perfection without holy name. Even to purify, to do deity worship, you have to chant Om Keshavaya Nama Om Nara. You have to chant holy name. Without approaching holy name, no any bhakti, any form of bhakti cannot be perfected. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur very wonderfully glorified that even if somebody has constant chanting desire, Srila Prabhupada said, even the second generation, if they keep on chanting, they will eventually become purified. The attraction for chanting is wonderful. Even if they have a material contamination, doesn't matter. Encourage them, keep on going chanting and hearing, chanting and hearing. So this is very nice. So that verse, Krishna is telling here that by faithfully adhere of my instruction, those who follow this will become liberated. I like that verse. It's very nice. It's glorifying holy name. Actually, every verse is glorifying holy name, if you focus on it. So Srila Prabhupada, I'm not going to read the whole purport, but I remember what Prabhupada says on the purport, that ordinary man with firm faith, ordinary man, he says, an ordinary man with firm faith in the eternal injunction of the Lord, even though unable to execute such order, becomes liberated from the bondage of the law of God. Wow, that's very abstracted. I know our goal is not liberation, but without liberation, the pure name is not coming. But pure name is so, the holy name is so merciful. Just by taking shelter of holy name, it will first installment, first dose, profit. What you will see? You lost the taste of material enjoyment. That has to be examined in the heart. Testing machine is inside, not outside. Taste for bhakti is the test. So whether I have a taste for bhakti or not, well, let's see if I have eager to serve more. So this is very important. From this verse, I took many things. So I'll elaborate a little more. Even though not able to execute the order of Krishna, so how is that? Well, Srila Prabhupada clarifies. I was thinking how wonderful that purport Prabhupada wrote. In the beginning, he writes, I'm paraphrasing, of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunction of the Lord, but because one is respectful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. I like that. It's very nice. He said, we will chant pure name, provided we are willing and no resentful. This is another thing. Now, because even nowadays amongst us sometimes, we maintain a hateful towards someone. This is such a deadly blockage to approach to full name. I may be chanting, but so long I maintain this resentment, not possible. That's why I'm repeating, maybe I mentioned last time, because I love Bhishma Dev, but we don't say we love Duryodhana. But both on the same party, same side, Kauravas side, against Krishna and Pandavas. Why we say we love Bhishma Dev, not Duryodhana? Well, research their character, their attitude. Yes, they are fighting against the Pandavas, both Bhishma Dev and Duryodhana. But one has resentment, hate. Duryodhana had a hate. He never saw Krishna as a cure. Bhishma Dev saw, even though I may be in problem, but my cure is Krishna, holy name. This attitude is very wonderful. Krishna, Bhishma Dev even said to the whole audience headed by the Pandavas, he said, if you don't maintain resentment, hateful towards another devotee, if you see Krishna as a cure, just by thinking this too, but this is inner, it is not outside. It is each of us has to examine and purify inside. Then see how fortunate I am, even though I fought against you all, but the Lord is here to give me darshan and bless me at my deathbed, because I did not have any hate against any devotees or Krishna. This is very important. Very important. Otherwise, we will be hovering million lives. going nowhere, keep coming. If this is what we want, I mean, I don't want. If this is what somebody wants, we have to be very careful. So in this verse, many points I looked at it. Srila Prabhupada is saying that we should not be resentful. Literally, Prabhupada said that word. We should never be resentful. We work sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness. Now, if you feel hopeless because you have a hateful towards another devotee, if you say, well, I feel like not enthusiastic to do my sadhana every day, because you're maintaining hatefulness towards another devotee. Be careful, whether it's Krishna or devotee. So say for an example, to become pure devotees of Krishna, Anna Vilasita Sunnam, that's very nice. But I have material desire. It is not possible for me to become completely zero material desire. So, okay, even if you are not able to do it, it is okay. Should not resent the principle. See, Krishna went how many times to Durjodhana? Mistake Durjodhana did, that he did not like the proposal, whatever he did not want to make a peace with the Pandavas, whatever, many times Krishna went. He rejected. But problem is he rejected Krishna also. Now you don't like the message, but you don't like the messenger. Sometimes if we have against a person who can actually help us, because that person is so sincere, dear devotee of Krishna, dear devotee of Prabhupada, committing offense is not going anywhere. This is dangerous. So Duryodhana, as a result, he failed. In this verse, I see that how Prabhupada very nicely explained that the service is the most congenial form of intimacy with the Lord. The relationship between servant and Lord, master, in the transcendental world is very sweet. Why? It is based on love. So once we understand that Krishna loves me, love means service. Harinam Prabhu, holy name is a person. Krishna, holy name is a person. Holy name loves me. Before I start chanting, first I think, holy name loves me. So I should reciprocate. How? By serving. Love means service. Period. So with this understanding, when we engage at that time, there is no difficulty in the sense that even if I am not able to practice certain things, I'm not resenting the principle. There are two types of devotee in our life we see. A pure devotee and potential pure devotees. Pure devotee does not have any material desire, okay? And potential pure devotees are those devotees who have accepted the principle of pure devotee. Even though they are not able to practice this principle right now, they are moving forward and they will come to practice gradually. So if we do not have any resentment, I wanted to chant attentively, but I'm not able to concentrate. What should I do? Throw away the bead bag, forgetting this chanting. No! This is resentment. If you put the bead bag away, means you actually do not have a respect to the holy name, to Harinam Prabhu. These are subtle things. We have to correct. Krishna is not going to correct for us or Prabhupada or our Guru. We, sadhaka, practitioner, has to correct. That is resentment. If we put the bead bag or throw the bead bag, I don't want to. We should not act like it. That is frustration without defeat and hopelessness. So few things from that purport I took this morning. One, If I'm not able to practice, still I can continue like this. If we try like this, gradually purification will happen for sure. Second point, Krishna is not just pleased by our action, but also by our intention. Very important. So if we see that we are trying to sincerely serve holy name, even if we are not able to serve, then Krishna sees our intention. Another point I found also in that purport of Prabhupada, he is pleased by our intention, then he grants us purification. Another point I found, or you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 4. When there is purification, then there is an elevation. The way Prabhupada wrote this purport. Then I found another point. When there is an elevation, then there is a higher satisfaction. Now, why satisfaction? Because we are connecting with Krishna, holy name. So even if we are not able to follow principle properly, the regulative principle are not able to follow properly, chanting we are not able to do properly, but we have the intention. This is the key. If our intention is service attitude, I'm trying, my Lord. Oh, holy name, I'm trying. With that intention, Prabhupada gives that Krishna, you are the enjoyer, I'm the servant. How Krishna is enjoying my chanting? That I'm calling out. A child is calling out for mother. He is seeing, he is hearing. How, what intention, with what kind of intention I'm calling out? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have the intention, with intention to keep serving, then purification, then elevation, then higher satisfaction will come. Even higher satisfaction. Why? Because in Bhagavad, another sloka, Krishna confirmed, Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanir ashu upajayate. That everything will be perfected if we keep on serving the holy name. But we have to hear. Now I'm going to give an examination that when we are progressing, what are the symptoms manifesting? That we are discussing about 9 symptoms. And we discussed a couple of them. And today we're going to discuss further from there. So when we do sadhana to draw Krishna's attention. So what is the first focus when we are chanting? Are we getting attracted to Krishna's holy name? Is holy name hearing that I'm calling out? Why? Because Krishna is the one who will sanction the love of God, not my own endeavor. So our endeavor of serving the holy name is to draw attention of Vaishnava and Krishna. Try to draw happiness by pleasing Vaishnava and Krishna, by pleasing your Guru and Krishna, that you are following. That's all. Prabhu, it sounds very good. Is there a reference of this statement? Yes. Antolila chapter 7, 14 text. This verse I learned recently. Prema parakas nahe Krishna shakti bine Krishna eko prema data shastra pramane. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this, that it is Krishna alone who will sanction love of Godhead. Oh, I thought it was in my heart. Yes, but you don't have a eligibility. You don't have a power to awaken. So what we are doing, you are just drawing the attention of pleasing Guru and Krishna. When they see, when your Gurudev, Prabhupada, Krishna sees that we are sincerely serving, that's all we can do. They will sanction. That verse is beautiful. Prabhupada gave a very nice explanation that without being especially empowered by Krishna, one cannot manifest bhava, feeling for the Lord. Oh, I thought we're supposed to develop the feeling. Yeah, develop the feeling by pleasing Vaishnava and Krishna. And one who is glorifying the holy name, and if you have a resentment against that devotee, you will not experience love of God. You will be able to chant on your own, but not awaken the feeling for the Lord. What to talk about love of God? Very difficult. So in order to draw attention means I don't want to have any resentment against any devotees. This is must. And if you say, well, it's difficult, then you are not greedy. You did not understand what the holy name can give you. You do not understand your existence, value of your life. So you need to hear more. We need to hear more. So Srila Prabhupada, I'm going to repeat what I remember. Srila Prabhupada quoted this verse, as I mentioned before, that Madhya Lila 23.5, that all these many items, many times to his disciple, the one should see in their life how much I have developed these qualities. What does that mean? This quality is actually drawing attention of Krishna and Guru. And when you have actually developed those qualities, immediately they sanction. They're just waiting. They're just waiting. 5 years ago, I was here. Where am I now? Oh, last Ekadashi, Bhaktivinoda Thakur put in Sajjan Tosani. Today I just read that every Ekadashi we should have an examination in our heart. From last Ekadashi to this Ekadashi, did I advance or I went down or neutral? If I went down, bad association. Immediately we need to purify. Oh, I don't want to think about this Facebook reading or this, whatever disturbing me. You have to stop or take a shelter of senior devotee if you cannot stop, who can actually guide you and find a favorable attitude in the challenges. Whatever challenges you have, try to translate that difficult into favorable to chant pure name of holy name of Krishna. Now you say how can be difficult situation as a favorable? Well, you need the ability to translate that difficult situation. If you cannot translate, find a senior devotee who can translate. You will see they are very strict in their spiritual vow and they're going forward. They're going forward. They're not worried who said what 5 years back, 30 years back. Well, they're not. They're keep on going because they are pleasing Krishna. That is required. Empowerment causes confidence. When somebody goes on decades after chanting, they are empowered. This is Mahaprabhu's opinion, not our speculation. So it's important. So now we discussed other day, one Ekadashi, I think couple Ekadashi back, about first symptom of this 9 symptom is Skanti. Skanti means even in the midst of most difficult situation, the devotee remain peaceful. Not that peaceful is trying to remain peaceful because he's busy of uttering the holy name and praising the Lord. He's not disturbed. So we discussed that little bit. And then last week, I think last Ekadashi, we talked about Abhyartha Kalattam. Abhyartha Kalattam means concern that time should not be wasted. Means one does not let moment pass in vain. Now you may say, well, what about going to toilet, going, sleeping, taking rest, honoring prasadam? For whose pleasure are you doing? You're doing this. Just connect it. If you don't go to toilet, you will have a horrible smell. You may humiliate yourself in your clothes. So you're going there so that you can serve with a fresh body, clean body. For Krishna's pleasure, you are some or other by mistake, conditional life has all these bad, contacts of the modes. So body has to be maintained. So you go to sleep for Krishna's pleasure. For Guru's pleasure, I take sleep. Like this way, we have to connect. This is what 24 hours. 24 hours doesn't mean like you don't give rest or anything. That is not what 24 hours means. 24 hours means are you engaged? Are you resting for Krishna or are you resting for yourself? That's the question. If you rest for Krishna service, then it is within 24 hours. So today, third discussion was Virakti. Skanti abharta kalattam Virakti manasunnata. So Virakti, what is Virakti? Virakti, so I'm going to paraphrase what I understood for many decades, hearing Prabhupada's lecture and reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, hearing different acharyas and different senior devotees lecture. Virakti is disinterest in sense gratification, period. Virakti means this. Now question comes, is the external dress, external symptom has anything to do with it? Well, if you develop a strong attachment to Krishna, then you can take a dress that will accommodate you. You don't have to, so that people will not waste their time to associate with you unnecessarily. That's why the Varnashram system is introduced. Sannyas is given for two reasons. One reason sannyas given, that one who has awakened love for God. Not love, bhava, the ecstasy feeling. They don't fit with the normal, so they are given sannyas. And another reason sannyas is given, to obey the order of Guru. If Guru say take sannyas, you need to lead this appointed, then they are also allowed according to Shastra. These two reasons. Or Babaji Bes. But Prabhupada also gave one Babaji Bes, but then that devotee could not maintain. And Prabhupada said no more after that. So like that. Means inner connection with Krishna. Gaur Kishodas Babaji's Pranam Mantra. I remember Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur is the one who composed it. Sakshat Vairagya Murtai. Now if you like, Namo Gauro Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai. Vipralamba Rasam Bodhe. Rasa Ambodhe. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, nobody can become like my Guru Maharaj. So renounced. Detached. We are talking about Virakti. But he is so kind. He says, you all sincerely pray to my Guru Maharaj. He told to his disciples. And anybody prays to Gaur Kishodas Babaji, that Baba, we cannot become detached like you. But you are our worshipable object, a Vaishnava. By your prayers to Lord Gaur Sundar, we will get the mercy. And this is wonderful. So on EKÀDAŞī day, Gaur Kishodas Babaji used to say, today we'll have a big festival of holy name. So one of his disciples said, big festival of holy name on this EKÀDAŞī day. But Baba, we don't have anything. How we are going to do? He said, this is secret. You should go and invite that we have a big festival, let them come. But what about Prasadam and others? He said, don't worry. We'll have a special. He said, what is special? We'll be chanting whole day, whole night. No prasad, no cooking, anything. Just everybody. Of course, that is his view. That this is such a wonderful, but it's difficult. It's difficult practically. Whether to everybody will come and chant and dance holy name. That is the big festival. So I feel unqualified. But I like the way his disciple, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur explained. He said, pray to Gaur Kishodas Babaji. So you can chant pure name with this detachment mood. You can chant. By the mercy of Guru Krishnadas Babaji. So we can chant all. Namo Gaura Kishoraya Shakshad Vairagya Murtai Vipralambara Sambhude Padambujayate Namo. We touch your feet, lotus feet. So please give us this detachment from this material world so we can approach holy name with this mood. Of course, Srila Prabhupada also said very nicely, the senses are always desiring sense enjoyment. But when a devotee develops transcendental love for Krishna, his senses are no longer attracted by material desire. This state of mind is called Virakti. Prabhupada writes in Bhagavatam 1 purport 5.14.43. There is a nice example of this detachment Prabhupada gives about King Bharat Maharaj. And he gives. Now, we understand there a secret I'm going to take from that paragraph of Prabhupada. That Maharaj Bharat, he gave up everything, but he fell with the affection for a deer, caused him 3 lives. What do we learn from it? This is my understanding from the purport of Prabhupada. That Maharaj Bharat was kind, compassionate to others, like a deer, but he was not compassionate to himself. So first in our sadhana bhakti, we should be compassionate to ourselves, means our serving holy name, sadhana has to be good every day. Before you distribute holy name to others, distribute to yourself first. Be compassionate always every day to yourself before show your compassion to others. Prabhupada write this, just like this. I'm paraphrasing what I remember. He said, all the preacher in our movement must remember these 2 things. One was this. Another is, if I do not do this, what will be the destiny? Well, Maharaj Bharat will. And if you say, well, this is very difficult, I may forget, then key point is always have an association with the senior devotees. Either you hear them every day or you be with them, serve them. So when they speak, you can hear. This is very important. Both. Bharat Maharaj, he could have saved if there was a good devotee association. He said, no, you are doing arati and you're thinking of the deer. This is not good, Prabhu or Maharaj. Please, you do this. He didn't have a good association. Going forest is not, Shastra said this. Panchasurdam Banam Prajet, all this quotation you'll see. But that doesn't mean you become liberated by going to the forest. Then all the trees should be liberated. They live in the forest. No, that's not the point. Even though sound like that, Panchasurdam Banam Prajet, you go to forest. No, there is underlining, there is a message given that you go to forest means you remain detached from the sense enjoyment of this. So this is what I understand. Also, another purport Prabhupada writes that completely indifferent to the object of sense gratification is called detachment. One should be developing this detachment. Are we detaching ourselves from that which has no meaning or contribution to our spiritual life? Mahaprabhu's servant Govinda displayed a detachment. Very good example. Govinda, Mahaprabhu's servant, was an embodiment of detachment. How? We all know the past times when he had to step over Mahaprabhu's body in order to serve Mahaprabhu. But he would not step over back to honor prasadam for himself. Everything for Krishna. I like Prabhupada said the same thing to Jamuna Devi. My principle is only one, always. That's why I never had a trouble. Even though so many trouble came, but it did not deviate my focus on Krishna. My one slogan, everything for you, my Lord, nothing for me. I am only a servant. That's view. This is very nice. So detach from anything which is not connected to my service to Krishna. That's all. We have to be progressing towards that level of devotion. It is very, very high, but it has to come to that point in this life before we leave this world. Of course, when it comes to that point, it is when we experience the greatest pleasure. Was not Govinda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu's servant, was not suffering? Oh, I'm starving because of this bhakti, I cannot cross Mahaprabhu. No, he was joyful, giving Mahaprabhu's message. And he was staying there. Mahaprabhu woke up. Govinda, you are still here. Why didn't you go for honoring prasadam? So he disclosed this. For your service, I can break law. But for my service, for pleasing me, no, I cannot do this. So what kind of attitude is that? Perfect example of detachment. For Krishna will do anything. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that. That is also detachment. He said to promote Mahaprabhu's glory, he came to distribute holy name. But world did not know at that time so much, very little. So he invited the governor of British. And governor, then immediately message came that he only eat meat. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said, no problem, order Calcutta hotel to supply meat. Meat? Say yes. Anything that will promote Mahaprabhu's distribution of holy name. So that is very nice. This is what it is. So I have some conclusion quote that I developed. I'm sorry, I was going to two, but at least one we covered. Detachment doesn't mean you own nothing. It means nothing owns you. We have to remember this. And Srila Prabhupada, I like Srila Prabhupada quote. He said, I will not associate with anyone or anything that has no connection with Krishna. And he said, not changing clothes become renounced. And Sripad Radhanath Maharaj says that detachment means death of false ego. I like that. That's very nice too. Detachment means serenity in facing events with a healthy emotional distance. Vairagya. 13.10, Krishna says, attachment makes us psychologically rigid. Detachment makes us psychologically flexible. Very nice. That is Krishna. So detachment is absence of emotional dependence, not absence of emotion. We should be very careful because we are made of emotion. We cannot get rid of emotion. At core of our existence, we are conscious being. Conscious being means to have emotion. And this emotion cannot be wished away. Difference between attachment, aversion, renunciation, or detachment is the direction of our emotion. If our emotion is directed towards Krishna, that is devotion. That is chanting holy name with attention. And if our emotion, feeling is not going while we are serving, then it is not detached, chanting with the detachment. We have to be very careful. So renunciation, why? Why detachment is a big deal? Is a symptom of our advancement. Because detachment or renunciation belongs to inner world, spiritual world. In spiritual world, no sense gratification, no matter. Everything is conscious. So consciousness behind action, behind our chanting, what we are thinking when we are chanting, it's freedom from self-centeredness, not freedom from chanting. It is freedom from detachment will keep us free from self-centeredness. I'm chanting for me. No, I'm chanting for Krishna's pleasure. So these symptoms are very important. Srila Prabhupada says Detachment is the result of genuine spiritual emotion. Very nice. So with that note, I'll stop here. We have a few minutes. If there is any further discussion, we have 3 minutes. Dear devotees, Prabhus and mothers, I hope you take something from this session, that why detachment has to be focused, whether we're developing or not, because detachment, what did I say? It is the result of our genuine spiritual emotion, Prabhupada said. Progression depends on it. If our chanting is not directed towards Krishna, even though it is Krishna, holy name is Krishna, but it is also has to be channeling towards Krishna, because holy name is means and end, both. When I'm chanting, am I thinking of Krishna? That is important. So if I'm not, that means the attachment to the aversion or attachment or aversion of this world, positive and negative of this world is there. And that is dangerous. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Any reflection?
Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhu. I think one of the aspects that you mentioned about was resentment, not to develop resentment, which is very critical, and because that can be the reason to pull you back and repeated births, life after life. So I think that is one critical aspect as well. Didn't realize that until when you mentioned about it today. So I thought this was a message that was actually for me. So thank you really for that. Truly appreciate that.
Thank you. It's for me too, because so many unnecessary polluting creation through the online, internet, promoting how to develop a resentment or hate towards another Vaishnava. But we don't see that how this is deadly poison we are feeding. And we are showing that we care for others' spiritual progress. That's not care for spiritual progress. That is deadly poison. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we'll end here. It's 10 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pancha kalpataru vishwa kripa sindhu bhaivacha. Patitanam pavane vaishnave bho namo namo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Loknath Maharaj ki jai. Samaveta Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Pramana.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, So before we continue with the last section of Kirtan, I would like to share with you some of my favorite verses from the Harinam Chintamani. There's so many nice verses in this wonderful book, but particularly, let me just find those special verses that I particularly like. First of all, thank you for being with us this evening here on ISKCON Kirtan Ministry. I'm very, very grateful to be part of this and happy to share this hour with you. Please stay with us for another half an hour. We're live streaming from Sri Mayapur Dham. I lost my bookmark, so just give me a second, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, this is from the chapter, The Bhajan of Confidential Worship. When the bud of the holy name is just beginning to open, Lord Krishna's dark and handsome form in the world of Gokula Vrindavan is manifested. When the flower opens more and becomes very fragrant, then Lord Krishna's 64th expert can see the Lord's qualities manifested in his holy name. When the flower of the holy name completely blossoms, Lord Krishna's eternal pastimes he enjoys in the 8 parts of the day, pastimes beyond the touch of matter are manifested. When the holy name bestows mercy on a confidential soul, on a conditioned soul, devotional goddess of devotion manifests the ingredients of rasa, transcendental mellows. Attaining his pure spiritual form, the individual soul then enters his rasa. This is very beautiful and wonderful. When a saintly devotee chants the holy name without stopping, the Lord's form, qualities, and pastimes mercifully appear before him. So I marked some of these verses, these particular ones also, because for me it's very difficult to control the mind while chanting. Being a beginner in the practice of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and being a beginner in controlling the mind, I do need some extra incentive or some extra tools to try to focus on chanting. And for me personally, it has been very helpful to try to approach the chanting of the Hare Krishna way, more in a communicative way. And for me, that has brought me a lot of focus in my chanting. And particularly because I feel like the chanting, kirtan, sankirtan, is glorification of the Lord, is the holy name. But additionally for us, conditioned souls, it is a chance for us to call out to Lord Krishna, to find that deep relationship with Lord Krishna and awaken that deep relationship. And relationship means in a core sense communication. So means an endeavor with my heart, with my singing, with my voice, with my emotions, trying to awaken that inert and eternal relationship. And sometimes melodies help with that. Sometimes melodies help you awake that rasa, that devotion to Lord Krishna, that calling out to Lord Krishna. And everyone has their individual and personal calling out and flavor and way to approach Lord Krishna. Some are calling out in frustration, some are calling out in suffering, longing to be reunited with Krishna. Some are calling out in separation, some are calling out in joy, some are calling out, some are glorifying His qualities. So it is very important to find that individual relationship and express that in kirtan. As kirtan leaders in a group, when we're leading a kirtan in a group, we also have additional responsibilities to guide everyone, in the sincere chanting of the Mahamantra. The musical aspect, of course, carries us all because it's very beautiful and the music is a way of expression. But we must not forget that the chanting is solely for Lord Krishna, calling out to Lord Krishna, an expression, a communication. There has to be some kind of dialogue with Lord Krishna while we're chanting. If we're not reaching out to Him, if we're not asking for Him to appear, if we're not asking Him to be His instrument, if we're not asking Him for some service, to be in His service, if we're only entertaining our minds, if there's no communication with Lord Krishna, then also the group will not be so focused. So last year, actually, yes, it was 2020, I think. Yes, 2020. Through this pandemic, time has become such a strange thing. Time, the feeling of time has become warped. So last year, 2020, in Ekachakra, for Nityananda's appearance day, I myself was struggling in kirtan. I was sitting in kirtan, but I could not appreciate the chanting myself. All the devotees around me were chanting in great enthusiasm, but I myself had completely lost the taste and the appreciation for chanting, and that very much took me by surprise and shocked me and scared me, made me very fearful, because I feel like chanting and kirtan is all we have to hold on to, especially a conditioned soul like me. Chanting is all I have. So it was very, very worrying for me. And luckily, I took advice from a few of my God brothers and God sisters, and also from senior devotees, who all advised me to take some extra time and to chant alone, to chant not for a congregation, not in a group, not to chant to please anyone else, but Krishna. Just to be alone, chant alone, and discover that personal relationship with the holy name. And take the time and discover the holy name alone. And that was a very, very precious instruction that I received. And I'm very grateful to have had that guidance during that time. So for all of you who are aspiring, what I can share with you from my experience is please chant with sincere calling to Lord Krishna, sincere desire to serve the holy name, to communicate with Lord Krishna. Ask him to be in his service. Ask him to please empower you to be an instrument. And in that way, it will focus your chanting and your singing and bring a lot of depth into your kirtan. And there will be moments, if you are able to focus on that connection with Lord Krishna, where you will have very deep realizations about chanting. And this is what we want. We want to experience the holy name. We want to experience Krishna as much as possible in chanting, and we want to serve him. We don't necessarily want to elaborate on musical techniques, which of course help us to express ourselves and also help us to express different emotions. But it's not the main point. The main point is to really go deep and communicate with Krishna and to chant for Krishna. So let's chant for another 15 minutes together.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Shri Panchatattva ke Shri Shri Radha Madhava ke Srila Prabhupada ki Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Shri Mayapur Dham ki Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki
EKÀDAŞީ throughout the whole day. Actually, I noticed that on the calendar, it's in the month of Sridhar, and in the other term is Shravanam, the month of Shravanam. So, very symbolic EKÀDAŞΗ. So please remember to always chant the holy name with great sincerity from your heart, and try to connect to Krishna. And while you're doing that, please listen closely to the mantra. And in this way, just like it is described in the Harinam Chintamani, the stone heart, the heart of stone, can slowly soften, and the petals of the holy name will open and blossom within your heart. So I'm wishing you all the best around the world, wherever you are. And please stay safe, keep chanting, and Hare Krishna. Have a good night, have a good day wherever you are. Hari Bol.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So we do some, it's a 1 hour program. Namaste Sarvabhute Gauravani Kacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Attatade Tadavine Namaste Sarvabhute Gauravani I see Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nirvakta Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Gaura Premanand. So Hare Krishna. So now we have a small talk on the glories of the holy name. Today is the most auspicious day of KAMIKA EKΑΔAŠީ. So we are very happy. We are taking a reading from Śravana-kīrtana. Yes, so Śravana-kīrtana, one chapter says the prime religious practice for the Kali Yuga is the chanting of the holy name. Then we all know that this Mahamantra is the Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma. We have four yugas. Everyone knows that. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And in each yuga, there is a particular type of, yuga practice, yuga system. Like in the Satya Yuga, people were living very pious. So basically, they were doing a lot of charity. In Treta Yuga, people were doing a lot of tapasya, a lot of austerities. And in Dwapara Yuga, people were doing Vishnu, the worship of Vishnu, Archana. And in Kali Yuga, we are performing Harinam Sankirtan. Yeah. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 36, Karana Bhajana Rishi was speaking to Maharaj Nimi. So he was telling him that those who are advanced souls and highly qualified are interested in the essence of life, knows the good qualities of Kali Yuga. Such people worship the age of Kali because in this age, simply chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can advance in spiritual knowledge and attain life's goal. Yeah, so we have to worship Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the age, very dangerous age of quarrel, hypocrisy, and irreligion. How can we worship quarrel, irreligion, and hypocrisy? Yeah, because in Kali Yuga there is something very, 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 very famous, very interesting. It's Mahamantra. And chanting the holy name is the sum and substance of Sanatana Dharma. Chanting the holy name is the sum and substance of the Sanatana Dharma. So it is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 9, text 362. That is, it mentioned, in this age of Kali, there are no genuine religious principles. There are only the Vaishnava devotees and the Vaishnava devotional scriptures. This is the sum and the substance of everything. In Kali Yuga, there is no genuine religious principles. Yeah, because in Kali Yuga, the age is already, degraded. So the avatars or the messengers of God that were coming, they just come to a place of our consciousness, which is very, very low. So they're not genuine religious principle in this stage. But we have Vaishnava devotees and the Vaishnava devotional scriptures. Yeah, as mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila. And also, the Kali Yuga is such a degraded and miserable age. Kali Yuga is very degraded and very, very miserable. It is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 11, that in this age of Kali, men will have very short lives, very, very short lives. They will be quarrelsome. They will be very lazy. They will be misguided. They will be unlucky. And above all, always disturbed. See, Kali Yuga. People will have short lives, quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, very disturbed, always disturbed. So, there's nothing good here. Yeah, in this age now. So, the lack of religious principles in the Kali Yuga is more compensated by the process of chanting the holy name. Yes, because we have some lack in this age. So the lack of religious principles in Kali Yuga is more compensated in the process of chanting the holy name. So if there is no genuine religious principle, so what to do? everyone will become sinner. You commit sin every time. What is the solution? So there is a solution. So the solution is that there is a compensation with the process of chanting the holy name. Otherwise, short lives, quarrelsome, lazy, unlucky, misguided, how can we survive? It is said in the Kali Yuga, Kalo Shudra Sambhava. In the Kali Yuga, everyone is born Shudra. Shudra, no good quality of Shudras. You know. So it is said that in this age of Kali, the three-fourth, no? This age of Kali is three-fourth devoid of religious principles. Three-fourth devoid of religious principles. Hardly 1/4 are still observed. But by the mercy of the Lord Krishna, this vacancy has been completed and religious principle simplified by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it is mentioned here that in this age of Kali, this age of Kali is 3/4 devoid of religious principles. So there is a story, a joke. It said that in the Kali Yuga, in Satya Yuga, whatever people have, because they were very pious, almost 99% of people were religious, godly people. So everything they had, they just give the offer to God, to Krishna. Yes, Krishna, God, this is our property, please take. Because they were so pious, they know very well that Krishna will give them back. But after all, when you offer something to Krishna, he gives you back, it becomes prasad. So people were doing that. Everything they have, they give to God. So they were not suffering. There were abundance of everything. In Treta Yuga, people were still pious. So the religious qualities reduced from 25% in Treta Yuga. So people were religious at 75%. So what they say, let's make a big circle, and we are all inside the circle. And whatever we have, we throw it in here, and whatever fall in the circle belongs to God. Whatever fall outside the circle belongs to us. And of course, because the circle was so big, hardly things were falling outside the circle, because they were 75% conscious of God. Then, Dwapara Yuga, people become God conscious by 50%. Then they decided that, okay, let us make a very long line, a queue. Then, whatever we have, we throw it in the air. Whatever fall on our left is for God. Whatever fall on our right is for us. So, 50-50. Sometimes things fall right, sometimes things fall left. So that's how people starting being contaminated by illusion. They want to take, there is a Mishra, Karma Mishra Bhakti. The Bhakti is not pure now anymore. You want to enjoy. You become Karma Yogis. You offer something to Krishna, but you want to enjoy something. So 50% God conscious. But in Kali Yuga, wow, then people become, as we mentioned, short-lived, quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, and unlucky, and always disturbed. So in Kali Yuga, people decided, okay, whatever we have, let us throw it in the air, and whatever fall, whatever stays in the sky, belong to God. And whatever falls on the ground belong to us. But of course, nothing will stay on the sky unless those who have mystical power, kind of practicity or some kind of yoga mystic power, they can make something to stay. Only God, Vishnu can do that, no? And yogis, Vishnu can sustain the universe and the planets in the atmosphere. Human being, we cannot do that. But in the Kali Yuga, we throw something in the air and we expect God to hold it there. So eventually, nothing will remain in the sky. All will fall down. That's why Kali Yuga is very, very dangerous. That's why you say there is no original, there is no genuine religious principle in the Kali Yuga. But chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, everything will be perfect. Harinam Sankirtan Jaga Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.